this party will be settled, you predict, by March or April. That means no brokered convention. That means no high drama in June or May. Even though many people I talk to wonder at a very serious level if that might not be the case, that this thing could go all the way to the California primary in June.
Well, I mean, I'm telling you what as a former general counsel of the RNC for 2 years, I'm in my 6th year as chairman. I've helped write the rules of how delegate allocation works. I know them as good as anybody in the country. So I know what I'm talking about. And I think that it's going to be highly, highly unlikely that we would go to a contested or an open convention in Cleveland in July. If that were the case, we're going to be ready to go. And if we have to have a vote on the floor, we'll have a vote on the floor. But I think it's very unlikely. And so that's, I mean, I'm stating an opinion from someone who would qualify as an expert on this issue. And I think it's going to be settled, and I think by mid-April we'll have a really good idea who the presumptive nominee is going to be.
Because, as you well know, the lowest percentage ever in the nominating process are going to be distributed delegates, that is, winner take all, 16.2%. Even the hybrid allocation is 27%.
Right, but if you add, so you get about 55-45.
Right.
So 45%, because the hybrids are pretty much winner take all. Most of the splits are statewide and by congressional district.
Right.
But they're essentially, you can view hybrids generally as winner take alls. So 55% are proportional, 45 winner take all. Now, but even in the proportional voting, you still have to, in most cases, you have to have a floor level of support before you even get a single delegate. So too many people make the mistake of thinking, well, 12 people are running, and therefore if you get 5% and you get 2% and this one gets 10%, that you're splitting the delegates. In most cases, you get nothing. But the person at 10 or 15 or 20 starts cashing in on delegates. So while it's true that a majority of the delegates are proportional, the majority of those delegates require a certain base level of support to get those delegates.
And so if you win, you're going to pick up the delegates one way or the other. If you're first or second or third, you're going to cash in on delegates.
That's right. And the other thing is, if someone's coming to convention with a majority of the delegates, they're going to be the nominee. It doesn't matter what rules changes you may, all this talk, if you have the majority of delegates, you're going to be the nominee.
The majority, not necessarily the magic number.
No, well, the majority is the magic number.
Okay.
Right, it's 1, 2, 3, 7.
Right, I just meant if there was like if there was a plurality situation. You're not saying a plurality.
No.
A plurality would be, we've got to go to the rules and work it out.
Plurality is not going to cut it. I mean, you have to have a majority of delegates.
And you do not anticipate that?
I don't.
Excellent. Mr. Chairman, thanks so much for your time.
You bet.
I appreciate it.